Welcome back to the channel, everyone. It's your pal Nomz here, and today we are taking a look at another not so great video from what looks to be either a very disgruntled Battlefield fan or someone who's a fan of a rival FPS and feels threatened by, you guessed it, Battlefield 2042. Look, I don't like casting labels on people, but the longer you watch this response, the more you will understand why he comes off this way, and I'm a very call it how I see it kind of guy. So this YouTuber's name is the AP99, and his video is titled Battlefield 2042 Sucks, and on the thumbnail it has "Do not buy this scam" in big white letters. Now it's important everyone understands exactly what a scam is before we continue. A scam is defined as a dishonest scheme or fraud. A dishonest scheme. Dishonest. Remember this, it'll become very clear soon. Anyway, I took a look at the AP99's channel just to see if this was by some chance a troll video, but near as I can tell he's being 100% legit with this, which is unfortunate, so we're going to go through this video and find out just why Battlefield 2042 sucks and why this game is a scam. Let's get started.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is the AP99 here, an intellectual and reliable video game source.
An intellectual and reliable video game source. Okay then, just think that's an odd use of adjectives to apply to yourself. Usually you don't gotta refer to yourself like that if your actions speak loud enough.
Today, I am here trying to save your hard-earned money by giving you valid reasons to not buy the brand new Battlefield 2042.
Oh wow, I didn't realize they gave you an early review copy. Do tell.
First thing first, the game is cross-generation, meaning the game is being developed with 2013 hardware in mind, which results in the developers at DICE having to tone things down so that it can perform decently on the last generation hardware. Therefore, it is not taking full advantage of the new next generation consoles that are jam-packed with state-of-the-art technology and will go underutilized with this next generation of Battlefield.
I mean, that was a boneheaded decision on DICE's part. We're well into the new generation of consoles now, so that was certainly short-sighted of them, but that just means the game won't look as good as it possibly could. Hell, if you look at the top left corner, it even says the pre-alpha build is what's being showcased in the gameplay trailer, meaning that what we are looking at, good or bad, is not the final product. However, despite the game being built primarily with dated hardware in mind, it does not mean it will play bad, it does not mean it will perform bad. Hell, since it was designed primarily with the previous generation of consoles in mind, I'd imagine that means it's going to run very smooth. Smooth as silk, in fact, with the newer hardware of the Xbox Series X, the piece of shit 5, or my jacked up on steroids gaming PC. Hell, maybe DICE will even add a ray tracing option into the game. That would be fucking stellar. But you're telling me this game is going to suck. I mean, if you're telling me this game sucks, one, you should play the game first and foremost. And two, the gameplay they showed off looks fucking dope as hell. You also said Battlefield 2042 is a scam in big white letters. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing what exactly you mean by that.
Which brings me into my next point. The signature Battlefield dynamic destruction elements are nowhere to be seen in the most recent Battlefield 2042 gameplay footage at E3. As you can see in this footage, a tornado is making its way towards these large skyscrapers, yet literally nothing is happening. Even the rest of the showcase fails to showcase any major destruction at all. The most you see are a few Michael Bay explosions and a tank running over a car, but that's really nothing compared to what we have seen in the past, considering in 2013, Battlefield 4 had literal skyscrapers falling down. They are going backwards with this new focus on weather systems, while the rest of the game world remains nothing but a painting for the players to look at.
Okay, that's an interesting point. Yes, you're 100% right that destructible environments are 100% a staple of the Battlefield series and should not be downgraded for the sake of an extra gimmick added to the game. However, if my memory serves me correctly, that footage is from Siege of Shanghai, and that Battlefield 4 map's entire gimmick was the fact that you could knock down a skyscraper. That was the entire point of Siege of Shanghai, and this was not the case for the rest of the buildings, being that the most you could do to them was blow out a couple of walls. Unless you were on other maps where there there were just copy-pasted small structures lying around, and those you could tear down and level for sure. But knocking down skyscrapers was never commonplace in Battlefield. Also, once again, the footage in the gameplay trailer they showcased was the pre-alpha build, and it's far too soon to be making sweeping assertions the way you are. I highly doubt DICE would regress the destructible environments in Battlefield 2042 to pre-Battlefield 4 levels of detail. If that does happen to be the case, then DICE will definitely have a problem on their hands.
The third reason why you shouldn't buy Battlefield 2042 is because it is launching as an incomplete live service product. It has less multiplayer maps than past Battlefield games at launch. It is even lacking a single player campaign, making it online only, which by design ruins the longevity of the game, as someday it will have an expiration date once EA shuts them servers down.
Okay, I hear you, but if EA is making all of this information public, then that means that the players will know about this at launch, meaning they will know exactly what deal they are getting when and if they buy it. How is this a scam exactly? The scam would be if EA promised more maps than they could deliver at launch, more specialists than they could deliver at launch, and openly state that there will be destructible environments applying to skyscrapers in the game, but that's nowhere to be found after launch. Again, hypothetically. As for the no campaign, again, they are announcing that ahead of release. They are not promising something they cannot deliver. And I mean, you have my sympathies if you were beating the door down for a Battlefield campaign. But it's my understanding that the Battlefield campaigns outside of the Bad Company variant weren't that big or beloved to begin with. Feel free to correct me on that in the comments, because I heard Battlefield 1's campaign was actually quite good. But as far as I know, that's a very small exception. And yeah, it does suck that Battlefield 2042, years from now, will likely have empty servers. But correct me if I'm wrong, but EA not allowing private servers or charging for them so that friends can play EA games past their life cycle was a problem long before Battlefield 2042 was announced, and chances are it will be a problem long after Battlefield 2042's release. So far, none of these issues you have brought up have contributed to your claims of Battlefield 2042 sucking, or being a scam for that matter.
EA has already begun the great cover-up and pre-damage control for a lackluster launch by stating that content for Battlefield 2042 will be divided into seasons that run for about 3 months, so 4 seasons in a year. Each season will contain content tied to both free and premium Battlefield Pass, full of unlocks players can get by leveling up in the pass through gameplay. Therefore, I suggest you wait a year to buy into the game until it's fully complete.
Fair enough. But I suppose that's up to the consumers, isn't it? If they're happy with the deal, they will get it. If you're going to wait a year, like a lot of people who wanted to buy Cyberpunk at launch did, until they realized how broken it was, you do you, man. That's a perfectly acceptable decision, but I'm still waiting for the part where you tell me Battlefield 2042 is a scam or why it's going to be a bad video game.
The fourth and probably most important reason why you shouldn't buy into the scam that is Battlefield 2042 is because the game's launch model is outdated and troublesome, as it is launching for a full premium price on all consoles, $60 on last gen and PC, and a whopping $70 on next generation consoles. This is troublesome because why should somebody pay a full price for a game that is being held back by 2013 hardware that seemingly has downgraded the signature Battlefield destruction that separates Battlefield from other shooters and is online only, meaning, one day when the servers are shut off, you're going to be stuck with nothing but a disc to chop up some watermelon with. And the game is also not even launching fully complete and is following a free-to-play content model despite being a fully priced game.
Okay, valid point. Releasing for a higher price on next-generation consoles is greedy and anti-consumer, and I don't care what the reason is, quite frankly. EA strikes again, sure. But this is all very transparent in the marketing for the game. That doesn't make it a scam. However, if you feel that the game isn't worth the consumer's money, then why not title your video as Why Battlefield 2042 is a ripoff, or Why Battlefield 2042 isn't worth your money? Because up till now, you haven't given us any concrete reasons for why the game is a scam, or why it's going to be a poor experience for video game players. The most you've given us is that it's not promising as much content as other Battlefield games at launch. But DICE and EA have not shied away from that, which kind of defeats the point of your video by calling it a scam.
To make matters even worse, EA are making you pay for a $100 gold edition of the game if you wish to upgrade from the last generation PS4 game to the next generation PS5 version. This also goes for the Xbox Series consoles.
Yeah, I think we can all agree that's very fucking greedy and stupid. Continue.
And the last reason why you shouldn't buy Battlefield 2042 is simply because nobody else is.
What?
And the last reason why you shouldn't buy Battlefield 2042 is simply because nobody else is. Nobody else is. Nobody else is. Nobody else is. Meaning it'll be dead. It'll be fucking dead. Despite what the paid social media influencers want you to believe with all the manufactured hype on Twitter, nobody at all will be playing this game come fall 2021. For all the reasons said prior, but also because it is competing against two other first-person shooter conglomerates, Halo Infinite and Call of Duty Vanguard, both of which offer gamers a free-to-play mode. Halo Infinite's multiplayer is free to all gamers on Xbox and PC, and Warzone is available on all platforms for free as well.
Okay, regarding the falsified media hype for this game, I think you have Battlefield 2042 confused with this woke abortion in the series. Also, regarding the free-to-play multiplayer for Call of Duty and the upcoming Halo Infinite, take a look at this. This is my level of hard-on for Halo Infinite's release. I am salivating for that game to come out, as are many Halo fans and FPS players out there. There's two main reasons why I'm still going to buy Battlefield 2042. Want to know why? Because for one, Battlefield isn't selling what Halo Infinite is selling. They are two completely different style games, with the only thing they really have in common is the fact that they are FPSs. Call of Duty is far more similar to Battlefield than Halo is, but even then, Call of Duty is not Battlefield either. And while they compete with one another, vying for our attention, Call of Duty fans and FPS players are still going to play Battlefield because only Battlefield 2042 can offer them a Battlefield experience. Battlefield has always had its niche, its style, and its fan base, and those players will find time and money to spend on playing it. And the second reason why people are going to play Battlefield 2042 is actually even simpler. Relatively everybody, myself very much included, is extremely hyped for this game. Battlefield 2042 was one of the show stealers this year at E3. It had easily one of the best showcases of any game this year. DICE didn't waste time talking about their game. They walked the walk. They arrived, raised hell, kicked the shit out of their competition, and left. And that is why people are still going to check out Battlefield 2042. Full price, free to play, it doesn't matter. If you think this game won't have an extremely large population, you're sadly mistaken.
Battlefield 2042, the scam it is, simply can't survive this uphill battle it is being presented against with its downgraded Battlefield uniqueness and outdated payment model. It truly is the beginning of the end for the Battlefield franchise, and I hope this video saved you a hard-earned $70 to avoid this scam. Thank you for watching, and have a fabulous day.
My dude, I was thinking Battlefield was dead as well. Until E3 2021, where it came roaring back to life. I honestly don't know what you were thinking with this video. Maybe your prediction will come true, maybe Battlefield 2042 will be terrible, but unfortunately for you, the trailers, the gameplay, the graphics, and the overall reception the game has received from Battlefield fans and gamers alike says otherwise. I personally cannot wait to try Battlefield 2042. But what are you gonna do? Some people, I guess, aren't so excited. But to make a video like this felt as if he was banking on there being another negative Battlefield reception and that his video could ride the wave or something. But to pretend or be so deluded as to think this game's promotional material wasn't received well and that this is a game that nobody is going to play, that's just some next level stupidity right there. I also never got my questions answered for why this yet to be released video game sucks, and I never found out how Battlefield 2042 was trying to scam me, since all of its supposed shady or greedy business practices have been outlined very clearly by the game's marketing team. But anyway, as you can no doubt tell, this is the end of his video, which means we are going to wrap things up here. Thanks for sitting through this mess. Before I go, I'd like to plug a few things. Firstly, if you can't tell, this is actually my second channel that talks about video games. By all means, check out the rest of this channel if you see some videos that interest you, but my primary channel is Anomaly Inc. That's where I post my main content about movies, television, and hopefully anime in the near future. So if you're interested in more content, be sure to check it out. Next, I just want to give a quick shout out and thank you to my Patreon supporters. I very much appreciate the generosity and your contributions to the channel. If you'd like to join the Patreon, I've left the link in the description for passionate viewers who would like to do so. And lastly, if you haven't already, please check out the channel's Discord server. What Discord basically is an online community where followers of this channel go to congregate and talk about a range of different topics, ranging from video games, movies, anime, and just about anything pop culture related. Check it out at your leisure, and who knows, maybe you'll make some friends along the way. I want to give a quick thank you and shout out to a British Potato for helping me edit the audio for this vid. He's got a channel as well. He does responses. I've linked it below. Be sure to check him out. Finally, here's one last thank you for staying till the end of the video. You are a legend, and I'll see you next time.